Hello, and welcome to Starculus Exam Prep for Algebra 1. Question 9. The graph of linear function g passes through the points -7, -4, and 7, 6 as shown. First, let's make sense of the vocabulary here. The linear function g. Well, a linear function is a line that passes the vertical line test, meaning for every x, there's only one y value. And they're calling this function g. I don't know, for Gary? There are two main things that are given in this question, those 2 points and the graph of that line. This question can be done without the graph of the line, but since it was given to us, we might as well use it. So the first thing we'll do is plot those 2 points on the graph. Let's start with 7, 6. So we'll start at the origin, we'll go to the right 7 units on the x-axis, and then up 6 units, and we see where it is on the line. We can plot the other point by going to the left 7 units from the origin, and down 4 units from the x-axis. Now let's look at the actual question that we're being asked. What are the slope and y-intercept of the graph of g? And notice in the answers that there are really only 2 slopes that we have to choose between, 5/7 and 7/5. And the same with the y-intercept, a -1 or a +1. Recall, or know for the first time, that slope is equal to rise over run, or delta y over delta x, or the official formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That formula is available on the formula chart, which I'll show you in just a moment. The y-intercept of a function is the point at which the function crosses the y-axis. It's the y value when x equals 0, and we usually only write the y value. I think the best approach to calculating slope for this question is using a graphical method. So that's what I'll start with. Let's go back to the graph where we have those 2 points that we plotted. Starting with the point on the left, we'll draw a vertical line that goes up to the height of the other point, right about here. Then we'll draw a horizontal line from the point on the right that connects to that vertical line. Now we have a triangle that basically represents the slope of this line. Rise for the vertical piece and run for the horizontal piece. So what's the height of the left side of the triangle? And what's the width of the top part of the triangle? Well, let's count. Well, how about you count? We could count the boxes, which add up to 10, or we could find the difference between -4 and 6, which is also 10. Let's do the same for the top part of the triangle. I'm counting 14 boxes, which is the difference between -7 and +7. If you travel from -7 to the origin, which is 7 units, and then another 7 from the origin to 7, that's 14 total units. The rise is 10, the run is 14, so the slope, which is rise over run, is 10/14. We can simplify that fraction by dividing by 2 on the top and the bottom, and we get 5/7. Now let's look at the answers and eliminate the ones that are incorrect. Answer choices C and D have a slope of 7/5, so we can cross those off. The last step then is to find the y-intercept. Will it be 1 or -1? Remember, the y-intercept is the point at which the line intersects or touches the y-axis. And that point is 0, 1. So the y-intercept is 1. Going back to the answers, we see that answer choice B represents the correct slope and the correct y-intercept. So the answer is B. As promised, here are the formulas that were provided for the Algebra 1 end of course exam. And as you will see, they provide us with the formula for the slope of a line. The last thing I'll do is use that formula to take a, formulaic approach to the graphical approach that I already showed you. Here's the question again. We're given 2 points and the graph of the linear function. When I'm using the slope formula, I like to label the points. So we'll call the first one x1, comma y1, and the second one x2, comma y2. That way we won't get confused. Here we go. y2 minus y1 is 6 minus negative 4. x2 minus x1 is 7 minus negative 7. When we subtract a negative number, both those negative signs turn into plus signs. So we have 6 plus 4 divided by 7 plus 7. And that gives us 10 divided by 14, which is the number that we found from the graph. 10 over 14 is equal to 5 over 7, which is the same answer we got before. Amazing. And if this method is quicker for you, then this is the one that you should use. But we still need to know what a y-intercept is. So we go to the graph just like before, and we see that the y-intercept is at 0, 1. So therefore the y-intercept is 1, and the answer is B. There you go. That's the formulaic method. I sort of like the graphical method better. I think it's a little more fun and visual, but if the formulaic method works for you and gets the job done, then that's what you should use. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching.